Suppose a tiny phrase of music could pay for your breakfast. Not on some calendar date we circle, but as a live fire test of trust right now. You're in the kitchen, the fridge purring like a cat asleep, the ceiling fan brushing a thin ribbon of air across your shoulder, and a thought arrives: if value doesn't live in bullion, digits, or cryptographic keys, but in the world's own vibrations, would life move differently? Take this as a near-future lens, not a proclamation of a fixed historical moment, a magnifier for something we keep overlooking: rhythm. If you compress the story of money into a handful of breaths, it's a relay of yardsticks taking turns to hold up trust. Salt and shells when trade hugged hunger, gold and silver when belief needed heft, paper when states needed speed, ledgers on screens when the world folded into a palm, but each shift cast a shadow. Scarcity doesn't share well. Paper leans hard on centralized confidence, and strings of code can rocket or collapse on a gust of rumor. That fatigue, even in the deeply tech-optimistic, isn't anti-money. It's a craving for a measure that anchors to something less squeezable by human will. The cadence of nature. Nothing mystical in the premise. Vibrations carry information. In hospitals, ultrasound probes launch whispers of energy to paint pictures inside the body. In rehab, carefully used vibroacoustic treatments sometimes ease pain for specific cases. Out in the fields, bioacoustics suggests plants emit and receive signals hinting at irrigation systems that water when tomatoes speak up. Fragmentary, yes, science still has trials to run, but fair enough to admit, rhythm can vary meaning, and meaning is the base layer of trust. So if a vibrational signature can be standardized, unique, measurable, verifiable, and safe, why couldn't it represent value, at least in certain contexts? Imagine a transaction small as a breath. You set your coffee on the table. In a millisecond, your device emits an ultra-short phrase beyond hearing, a frequency pattern baked to standard. The café's device catches it. Nearby sensors act like neighbors witnessing a promise. That ripple really sounded here now, with the amplitude and phase that match the template. Money stops being a number sprinting across a distant server and becomes a physical event that leaves its own fingerprint. Because the payment passes through air, spoofing gets harder. And privacy can actually improve if the architecture lets you disclose only what's needed, no more. From a seed like that, a whole ecosystem sprouts. An acoustic bank doesn't store bars, it stores registered signatures. A frequency exchange shows the community's spectrum of needs in real time. A vibrational wallet is the thumbnail of all this. Hard software that can emit, hear, and keep compressed physical evidence. A resonance contract replaces one-off transfers. Both sides agree to a score that runs for a week. A growing season, a course of care. So long as the agreed rhythm sounds, value drips like steady water through a narrow flume. At city scale, traffic lights, trains, power grids, and foot traffic read one another's timing. At human scale, you pay by letting your private phrase blend into the place you're standing. Once value lives in rhythm, the power map softens like soil after rain. A mountain school team invents a pattern that helps bees orient. They don't leave the village to share it with keepers across an ocean. A river community builds a library of currents, signatures of water through drought and flood, and licenses it by season to regions with the same climate worry. A small workshop in Bandung shapes a signature that steadies urban grids at peak. Tokyo downloads, runs trials, and returns payment as different packets of value. Wealth tilts away from hoarding rare stuff and toward weaving useful rhythm. Something that can be shared and traded yet stays rooted in real context. But no new economy is all soft music. It needs rule and meter. Vibration can soothe, and it can coerce. Remember sound campaigns designed to unsettle or hurry people along. So a vibration code has to arrive early. Physiological safety thresholds. A right to quiet, transparency standards for devices that listen and emit, and duty of care when creating public fields of sound. Privacy widens into corners we rarely count. A home's voice, a child's breathing cadence, the tempo of a street after rain. Who may record? Who may broadcast? How long? At what intensity? For what purpose? Without public verifiable answers, music devolves into noise. If it breaks into daily life, change likely starts in small habits. Class opens with 2 minutes of sensed breathing, a mental warm-up. Then attendance is a palm on wood, each desk catching a student's signature. Recovery rooms mount discrete panels to keep patients inside a measured comfort band. Offices pivot from command to meetings that listen. Tiny collar devices balance talk, listen rhythm, and reduce cross-cutting. At the station, signals, power, and people yield by rhythm, easing jams without a forest of signs. At the cafe, you pay with your private phrase, leaving a physical fingerprint light as air. When value is rhythm, every craft can change key and grow richer in the truest sense of the word. Artists don't just write songs. They design rhythm packs that make night shifts less depleting. Engineers add a bridges spectrum to the load sheet so it hums like a lullaby instead of growling like thunder. Cafe owners invest in acoustic hygiene, promises about noise thresholds and gentle fields in the reading nook. Farmers sell harvests and a wind library. A good product sings in tune with bodies and setting. A good company syncs its meter to the communities. Of course, imagination needs the anchor of humility. There is no magic timestamp when old money evaporates. History changes through new habits, not fireworks. Today's medical evidence for vibration is uneven. Research into talking plants needs replication across contexts. There's no mass infrastructure for paying by signature yet. The pragmatic road is long coexistence, cards, apps, transfers, alongside small pockets of phrase-based transactions in places that need physical proof of presence or less reliance on centralized rails. If so, what can we do right now? Relearn how to listen. Listen to your body's meter. When to speak. When to hush. Listen to a room. When to open the window. When to soften your steps. Listen to the city. What noise is chaos? What noise is joy? Then lay a small brick. A class project that maps school noise and proposes quiet hours. A friend's suite for night shift workers. A co-op logging river rhythms for next season's share. Each act is both listening practice and a lesson in speaking the universe's simplest language. One evening, you stand on the balcony and go quiet. The city ahead isn't wires and glass. It's an orchestra tuning up. Trains, heels on stone, voices trading lines, leaves pushing wind. A thought arrives. If we ever trade in rhythm, it won't be because rhythm is mystical. It'll be because rhythm is something everyone has, and everyone can give. Maybe, starting tomorrow, wealth gets measured by how many moments your rhythm makes someone hurt less, fear less, feel less alone. Money doesn't vanish. It settles back into life's natural low note, where everything vibrates. And the last question, saved for you, in that larger score, what will your rhythm chain? Every question hides a reason. Every answer reveals a story. If this one made you see the world a little differently, give it a like. And if you want to keep uncovering the hidden why behind our world, hit subscribe and stay curious.